What's up guys, how you doing? Hope you had a great week. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name's Philip Strabo. I would absolutely love it if you know. That was actually Coma I was listening to. They are a Polish band, and believe it or not, they're from Łódź, so the city I spend most of my time in. And I love them. Anyway, today we're talking about something I'm really excited about, and I mean really excited. And that is this, the CineEye by Accsoon. Now, they're a pretty awesome company. They do gimbals and stuff, but I've been really wanting to test this out. So disclaimer, I did get it for free, no strings attached, and I will be reviewing it right now. So this is a 5G wireless video transmitter, which means that you connect it to your camera via HDMI and it connects to an iOS or an Android device. That's pretty awesome. Now, you're wondering how far. Now, there is going to be a distance test made by Phil in the Polish forest in a couple of minutes. But it does go far. It's up to about 100 meters, but we'll test it out and see. The 5G wireless is awesome. It auto-selects the clearest Wi-Fi channel, or you can select it yourself, but leaving on auto, especially on iOS devices, is fine. On some Android devices, you might have to turn off the mobile cellular, and you might have to select a channel underneath 100 for it to work. There have been some problems with that. I haven't had any problems on my iPad or my iPhone. I'm using an iPhone 8 Plus and absolutely no problems. This thing can connect to 4 iOS devices. So if you're on set and you've got like costume designer, you've got your makeup, you've got your director, and you want an image for yourself, you have up to 4 devices that can connect to this at the same time with no lag that I've noticed. They say it's a tiny bit of lag. I haven't noticed any lag, so there should be no delay on this thing unless you go really far away, but absolutely no lag. Now, this thing is really fantastic. It is built like a brick. I mean, this is pure metal. It's a piece of metal. What comes in the box? So you get the CineEye itself, you get a USB to USB-C charger, you get 3 HDMI cables, so one that works with the Sony A7 III, one that's full HDMI to full HDMI, and one full HDMI to, I think it's micro or mini. You get the instructions, and you get a cold shoe mount. So I'm going to take out just a couple of things that I need. And this thing will take a signal and it will go up to full HD in 60 frames per second. So that is pretty awesome. Now, this whole thing is made out of metal except for the antenna, which you pull out, they're made out of plastic. If we take a little bit of a closer look at this thing, right here, the A here turns on and it's either red or white, or flashing red or flashing white to tell you what the status of the actual connection is. You've got 4 LED lights here, it will tell you the battery power. On this side you will have a USB-C connection which you can charge through and use at the same time, so that's awesome. On the bottom you have a 1/4-20 mount, and on the other side you're going to have your full HDMI in. There is no pass-through on HDMI, so unfortunately you will have a tiny little pin for a reset button, and right here that is your on button. If you press it for 1 second, so 1, it will turn on, and that is your CineEye turned on, and really that is all that you have. It is really simple to set up. You literally just screw it in to the bottom, make sure these little wheels are nice and tight, screw it on top of your camera, and that is it, it's on there. So now all you have to do is connect the USB, I use USB so much, the HDMI to the HDMI, turn your camera on, and it will take about 20-30 seconds for it to connect and for it to work perfectly, so you can connect it on your phone or your iPad or whatever you have. Now, this is a fantastic solution for anybody who needs to be away, have more monitors from the camera. You know, it's one thing that I really want to use it for is putting it on a slider, putting on the tilter nano nucleus, and using it for focus. So you can have a screen, you can put it on, you don't have to touch your slider at all, and let it slide, and you can actually use the focus. That is one thing that I really want to use it for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the app. I'm going to record the screen on the phone, and you'll be able to see exactly how I set it up, and it's really simple. So let's do that really quickly right now. Right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your phone on your iPad and you want to go into your Wi-Fi settings. And once it's turned on and the A is not flashing white, it is set white, stable white, just it's white. You can go into Wi-Fi and you'll see you'll have CineEye, I have _ OF91. If you press it, the password should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit like Spaceballs, huh? Wait for it to connect, and then you can go into your app. Right, it's connected, so if we go into the app and we press monitor, steady, that's it, steady, light is steady. There we go, now we actually have the feed, so I can focus in and everything should work. Now this app is really fantastic. There was an update about a week, 2 weeks ago, which just gave it a few more options, and it made sure that things like if you go into more, where there are more settings, that used to reset when you'd leave the app, which was a pain in the. So now that's all fixed and this thing really works fantastically. So for example, we have waveform, and that is pretty awesome now that you have waveform on the actual, that's awesome. You can also have color waveform, so that's really funky. You can have gray, so you can gray out the screen completely. Okay, you have RGB, so you can do different colors. I'm not sure why anybody would use that, but you do have that option. Now you have focus. I have my focus peaking set at 15%. If you press it again, it will turn off. So if you press it and press anywhere on the screen, focus peaking will turn on. So you can see right here, if we get something in front of the frame, for example this, you can see that focus peaking will change when we have something in focus right there, see? Now if you want to bump up this focus peaking, you can make it really crazy and go up to 100% and everything will be in focus peaking, which kind of drives me nuts. So I kind of leave it at 15, and that kind of, that's the kind of the level I like it at, so I kind of more or less see where everything is. Now we can turn that off. We also have false colors. It's a little bit crazy false colors, but okay, if you know how to read false colors, it comes in really useful. We have the histogram, so that's useful for everybody because I think everybody knows how to read a histogram. And we have zebras. Now you can do the zebras all the way up to 100. You can do them like really low. So I kind of leave them at 70 here. And the cool thing is, I think this is an upgrade in the app. You can actually use two things at the same time. So you can use, for example, histogram, zebras, and waveform. So that's really funky because before you could only use one of them. So the LUT option. Now the easiest way to get a LUT onto the Accsoon app is actually to send it to yourself via email. I have my own studio LUT created, and all you have to do is press and hold it or download it to your files on Android, and it should open up and you'd be able to copy it to the actual app. I think in iPhone you have to press and hold and then scroll over to more, scroll down to copy to Accsoon app, and it will copy it to the app. And then if you double tap it, because if you press it nothing happens, you'll be able to then choose the different LUTs you have installed. Now this is really cool because, for example, now if I press LUT, I will be able to see exactly what I'm using here and exactly what my image will look like with my LUT on and off. So that's fantastic. Now if we press more, we have stuff like the center marker, which at the moment it's on, and we can change it to red, we can change it to green, and you can just generally change it to different colors. I have it on white. Now you can do safe marker, for example, which is pretty cool. And like I said before, this is working. This used to not work, but now it works. So if you go out of the app and come back in, it will remember these settings. I don't have the safe marker on, but you can go, for example, and do CinemaScope. You can do 185, you can do 16:9, you can do different ratio markers, and at the same time, if you go into transparency, you can change the actual transparency of them here, which is really cool. So you can see what's around the frame and you haven't got it blacked out. The marker width you can change, you can zoom in really closely, for example, ×4, and you can do anamorphic squeeze, which is really good. The Wi-Fi channel, like I said before, if you're on Android, you can actually choose what channel you are, and going above 48 will not work on some phones, I've heard. Like I said, no problems at all on mine. And you can also change the color range, the full range, or video range. And that is really the app in a nutshell. It is really simple to use. It is very reliable. I've been using it for some time, and I've just got to say, in love with it. One more cool thing is you can actually press record on the app, which means that, for example, if you have the director watching and he wants to record what you're filming right now, he'll be able to look at it later on, say at home with his slippers and his whiskey, and he'll be able to look at it as dailies, which is really, really cool. So that is the Accsoon CineEye app, and it's fantastic. It works with the CineEye Air as well, which came out I think 2 weeks ago, and that's really fantastic. Apparently I got an email saying they're happy to send that to me, so maybe I'll get that soon. I'll be able to compare this one and that one. I've got to say, in love with it. It's something I'm going to be using a lot, and I can't wait to do a film for you guys showing how you use it on a slider with the Tilta Nucleus Nano, because that is something that really interests me. Pulling focus on a slider with a video feed, so you don't have to touch it and everything is just perfectly smooth. If you guys have any questions at all, any questions about this app, about this fantastic product, drop them in the comments below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, that's really going to help me out. And head over to Accsoon or Andy Cine or whoever sells this, and make sure you pick it up because you're going to love it. Anyway, I hope everybody's safe and you guys have a good time. Did I leave Phil in the forest? Did we forget about Phil? He's doing the distance test. Shit. Okay, let's quickly, he's gonna be mad, Now that we've got the CineEye connected and set up, we're gonna do the distance test, which is quite exciting. Let's flip this around. There is the CineEye on top of my Sony a7 III. The screen is recording. I am right here, and that's what it looks like. So what we're going to do now is we are going to walk all the way over there. Actually, I'm not going to waste the time. I'm just going to appear there. So let's zoom the camera in. Right, I'm here. Let's check if everything's working. Yep, seems to work pretty well. Let's flip the camera around. This is me in real time. If you can see, I am moving my arms. I'm a very far distance away from the camera. Let's flip it back around. And the camera is like somewhere over there. Everything is working fantastically. Every movement is fine. Let's spin it back around to me. As you can see, everything looks really good. That is about 80 meters right there. And everything is just very clear. It's very precise. If you wanted to pull focus, no problem. You also have pinch the zoom, so that's really awesome. Yeah, well, here's a cyclist. So I would say that the distance test came out really, really well. Sachet. Dzień dobry. Perfect. This works really, really well. As you can see, everything works beautifully. It is, like, I would say, zero lag. Yeah, this is fantastic. Accsoon. I'm in love with the CineEye. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to get back to Phil in the studio, and he's going to show you around the app a little bit, just how it works and all that kind of jazz. Right, I hope you guys like that. He went out there like social distancing like crazy. That is the distance test, and that was 80 plus meters with no problems. There are so many uses you can have for something like this, that you can go so far away from and still have a crystal clear video feed. It's fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to get back to listening to my music. You guys get back to social distancing.